If you live anywhere between Texas and Virginia, the next 72 hours will determine whether you have power, water, and heat for the next week. This is not clickbait. Emergency officials in 10 states are already declaring states of emergency. And what I am about to show you will make you drop everything and prepare right now. In exactly 58 hours, freezing rain begins falling. Not snow. Freezing rain, the kind that turned highways into parking lots in 2021, the kind that killed 207 people, the kind that left 4.5 million without electricity for 7 days in the middle of winter. But this time, it is bigger. This time, it lasts longer. And this time, 30 million people are directly in the path. Here is what makes this storm absolutely terrifying. It does not move. Normal winter storms blast through in 12 hours. This monster parks over your city for 4 straight days. 4 days of continuous ice accumulation. 4 days of power lines collecting weight until they snap. 4 days of tree branches bending until they explode. Yes, I said explode. And I will explain that in 90 seconds. But first, your reward for watching just 30 seconds. I am about to give you the exact hour-by-hour timeline showing when ice hits your city. The 3 things you must buy today before shelves are empty. And the one mistake that killed more people than the storm itself in 2021. Stay with me. At the 5-minute mark, I will show you why meteorologists are calling this storm worse than anything we have seen in over a decade. Drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from. I will reply with the specific forecast for your exact location. Seriously, comment your city and state. I am monitoring this minute by minute. So, what makes this storm different from every other winter event you have seen? 3 things: Arctic air, Gulf moisture, and speed, or actually the lack of speed. Starting Friday morning at 8 or 9 a.m., freezing rain begins falling in western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. Not snow, freezing rain. This is critical because 1/4 inch of ice can snap tree branches. 1/2 inch can bring down power lines, and we are forecasting up to 3/4 inch in some locations. Think about that for a second. 3/4 inch of solid ice coating everything. Your car, your driveway, power lines, tree limbs. Every surface becomes a layer of thick, heavy, destructive ice. By 2 or 3 p.m. Friday, the storm explodes across Oklahoma City, Little Rock, northern Mississippi, and north-central Texas. But here is where it gets dangerous. At 4 p.m., right during rush hour, freezing rain will be falling across multiple major cities at the exact moment millions of people are trying to drive home from work. Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock, Memphis. All of these cities will see ice accumulation beginning around 3 to 4 p.m. Friday afternoon. Roads will not be treated. Schools are shutting down. And if you are planning to be anywhere near a highway at this time, you are making a massive mistake. Dallas-Fort Worth gets hit later. Around 6 or 7 p.m. Friday night, freezing rain arrives in the DFW metro area. Moderate to heavy snow pushes south toward Little Rock and Oklahoma City, but Little Rock starts with freezing rain first, which means ice, then snow on top of ice. The worst possible combination for power outages. Now let me tell you what happens Friday night into Saturday morning. This is when the storm rapidly grows in size. Freezing rain extends as far south as San Antonio, Waco, Huntsville, northern Mississippi. The entire Interstate 20 corridor from Dallas-Fort Worth back to Shreveport sees moderate to heavy freezing rain for hours. And yes, there will be some sleet mixed in. Sleet is not nearly as dangerous as freezing rain. Sleet bounces off surfaces. Freezing rain sticks and accumulates. We desperately need more sleet and less freezing rain. Because freezing rain causes catastrophic infrastructure damage and widespread power outages that can last for days. Saturday afternoon, the storm continues growing. The Interstate 40 corridor across Tennessee becomes a major ice threat zone. Nashville could see significant icing. Same with Little Rock, Memphis, and all around Dallas-Fort Worth. The threat zone is shifting slightly north, which actually changes everything. Here is what I mean. 24 hours ago, computer models showed Atlanta getting hammered. Now, models are shifting north, which means Atlanta might avoid the worst ice, but Nashville, Memphis, and Little Rock could get hit even harder. This is a 200-mile shift. 200 miles. That is the difference between 6 inches of snow and 0 snow, between catastrophic ice damage and just a bad winter day. And this is why you need to keep watching these updates. Models are still changing every 6 hours. By tonight, we will have much better clarity on exact snowfall totals and ice accumulation zones. But right now, we know this. Southern Oklahoma and North Texas are almost certainly getting hammered by an ice storm. Ice storm warnings will likely be issued late tonight or tomorrow. Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, still a wild card. The forecast depends on whether a low-pressure system forms in the southeast and how strong the high-pressure system to the north becomes. This is going to determine if Atlanta sees 3/4 of an inch of ice or just some rain. Let me show you the snow totals. Oklahoma City could see over 12 inches of snow. Little Rock, 12 inches. Nashville, up to 12 inches. Even cities like Wichita, Kansas are looking at significant snowfall. This is massive accumulation for cities that rarely see snow like this. But remember what I said earlier? This storm barely moves. Normal winter storms pass through in half a day. This one parks over you for days, which means instead of getting 6 inches of snow in 6 hours, you get 6 inches over 36 hours. Sounds better, right? Wrong. Longer duration means more ice accumulation, more freezing rain, more time for power lines to collect ice until they snap, more time for tree branches to slowly bend and break under increasing weight. This slow-motion disaster is actually more dangerous than a fast-moving blizzard. Dallas-Fort Worth is forecast to see over half an inch of ice accumulation. Half an inch. That is enough to cause widespread catastrophic damage. Power outages lasting days, possibly even a week in some areas. The Interstate 20 corridor from Dallas to Shreveport to Monroe, Louisiana, and over to Huntsville could all see devastating ice totals. And the National Weather Service blend of models still shows a large area of uncertainty. Things will continue changing over the next 24 hours. The intensity of the Arctic ridge matters. Whether that low pressure forms in the southeast matters. Every small change in the forecast shifts the impact zone by 50 to 100 miles. So comment below where you are located. I need to know your city and state so I can give you the most accurate, up-to-the-minute forecast for your specific area. This is not a one-size-fits-all storm. Your forecast could be completely different from someone 50 miles away. Now let me tell you about something most people are completely ignoring: the temperature. This is not just about snow and ice. We are talking about an extreme Arctic blast, and I need you to understand how extreme this really is. Friday and Saturday, we have an exploding tree risk across the northern plains and upper Midwest. You read that correctly. Exploding trees. This only happens when temperatures drop to 20 degrees below zero or colder. What does an exploding tree sound like? Imagine a gunshot, a huge cracking sound that can be heard up to half a mile away, sometimes even a full mile. This is not an exaggeration. When temperatures plunge this low, the moisture inside trees freezes and expands so rapidly that the wood literally cracks apart with explosive force. Friday morning, temperatures across the northern plains and Midwest will hit 20 to 30 degrees below zero. That is 30 below. Not 30 degrees, 30 below zero. Wind chills will drop to 60 degrees below zero in some locations, 60 below. At that temperature, exposed skin freezes in less than 5 minutes. Frostbite can occur in under 2 minutes. This is life-threatening cold, and that Arctic air is diving south. By Saturday and Sunday, it reaches Texas. Sunday morning will be the coldest day of the week for most of Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth drops to 10 degrees. Oklahoma City hits 0 degrees. This is pipe-bursting cold. If you have not already protected your pipes, you need to do it today, not tomorrow, today. Let your faucets drip. Open cabinet doors under sinks. Disconnect garden hoses. Insulate exposed pipes. Because when temperatures hit 0 degrees and stay there for multiple days, pipes burst. And when everyone's pipes burst at the same time, you cannot get a plumber for weeks. Monday and Tuesday will likely remain below freezing across the entire southern plains and southeast. We could see a flash freeze event in the southeast on Monday. Any standing water from rain or melted ice will instantly refreeze, creating dangerous black ice conditions. Tuesday, most areas finally climb back above freezing. Ice accumulation starts melting. Roads start clearing. But here is the problem. Ice begins accumulating Friday night in Dallas-Fort Worth. It might not fully melt until Tuesday. That is 4 days. 4 days of ice on roads, 4 days of power outages, 4 days of impassable highways. School closures could last through Tuesday. Major airports shut down, interstates closed, supply chains disrupted. This is why I keep saying this storm is historic, not because of one big snow total or one ice measurement, but because of the duration, the geographic size, and the combination of both heavy snow and catastrophic ice over such a massive area. Now here is what I promised you at the 5-minute mark. Why this storm could be worse than 2021. The February 2021 winter storm killed over 200 people. 4.5 million lost power in Texas alone. The state's power grid nearly collapsed. Roads were impassable for a week. Grocery stores ran out of food. Water treatment plants failed. It was a disaster. This storm has 3 factors that could make it worse. First, the ice accumulation zone is potentially larger. 2021 focused heavily on Texas. This storm threatens Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and potentially the Carolinas. That is twice the geographic area. Second, the duration. 2021 was mostly a 3-day event. This storm could impact areas for 4 to 5 days straight. More time for ice to accumulate, more time for infrastructure to fail, more time for power outages to extend. Third, the timing. 2021 happened in mid-February. This storm hits in late January when temperatures are already colder. The ground is already frozen in many areas. Trees are more brittle, infrastructure is more vulnerable, everything is already stressed, and now we are adding days of heavy ice on top. Add all 3 factors together and you see why emergency management officials across 10 states are already declaring emergencies and activating their response plans. Let me give you the hour-by-hour breakdown for Friday into Saturday. This is the most critical 24-hour period. Friday, 8 a.m. Freezing rain begins in western Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle. Friday, 2 p.m. Storm expands to Oklahoma City, Little Rock, northern Mississippi, north central Texas. Friday, 4 p.m. Rush hour chaos. Freezing rain falling across Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock, Memphis. Do not be on the roads. Friday, 6 p.m. Dallas. Fort Worth metro area begins seeing freezing rain. This continues for hours. Friday, 11 p.m. Moderate to heavy snow develops across Oklahoma City, Little Rock. Ice continues across Dallas-Fort Worth. Saturday, 3 a.m. Freezing rain as far south as San Antonio, Waco, Huntsville. Interstate 20 corridor sees heavy freezing rain. Saturday, 8 a.m. Ice accumulation widespread across Dallas-Fort Worth, Shreveport, Little Rock, Memphis. Power outages beginning. Saturday, 12 p.m. Interstate 40 corridor in Tennessee becomes major ice zone. Nashville, Knoxville potentially seeing significant icing. Saturday, 6 p.m. Storm continues expanding east. North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina potentially seeing winter weather. Saturday, 11 p.m. Ice accumulation nearing 3/4 of an inch in hardest hit areas. Tree damage widespread. Major power outages reported. This timeline is based on current models. But remember, models are still shifting. We saw a 200-mile northward shift in the last 24 hours. Another shift is entirely possible. This is why commenting your location is so important. I will give you updated forecasts specific to your city as models change throughout the day. The National Weather Service blend of models shows 6 to 12 inches of snow possible across Oklahoma, Little Rock, and near Nashville. But the European model shifted dramatically north in the last 12 hours, showing much less snow for Little Rock and Nashville and more for areas further north. This tells us the models are still not in agreement. High-resolution computer models will come in over the next 24 hours. By tonight, we should have much better consistency and confidence in the forecast. The most dangerous part of this entire storm is the ice accumulation. We are talking about the possibility of catastrophic impacts across North Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, and northern Mississippi. A wide area is forecast to see over half an inch of ice from Dallas-Fort Worth all the way into southern Arkansas. Half an inch of ice is enough to cause massive infrastructure damage. Trees snap, power lines fall, poles break, transformers explode, roads become skating rinks. I think it is almost certain at this point that southern Oklahoma and North Texas will be hammered by an ice storm. Ice storm warnings should be issued late tonight or tomorrow. These are the most serious winter weather warnings issued. They mean catastrophic, widespread impacts are expected. Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia remain wildcards. The forecast depends on low-pressure development in the southeast and the strength of the Arctic high pressure to the north. Small changes in either system dramatically change the ice forecast for these states. Atlanta could see over half an inch of ice, or they could see mostly rain. Nashville could see a foot of snow or mostly ice. Memphis could see heavy snow or heavy ice or a dangerous mix of both. Right now, we simply do not have enough model agreement to say with certainty. But one thing is certain, someone is getting hit extremely hard. Millions of people will lose power. Thousands of flights will be canceled. Interstate highways will close. This is not a maybe. This is definitely happening. The only question is exactly where the worst impacts set up. The NAM model shows the most significant ice accumulation in Atlanta, Georgia, and across South Carolina and most of North Carolina. This is a different solution than the European model, which focuses more on Tennessee and northern Alabama. When models disagree this much, it means the forecast is still uncertain and significant changes are possible. Stay subscribed. We are posting 2 videos per day covering every update. We may even have a live stream tonight answering your questions and going over all the latest model changes. Make sure notifications are turned on so you do not miss critical updates. Another massive concern is the exploding tree phenomenon in the northern United States. When temperatures drop to 20 below zero or colder, which is forecast for Friday and Saturday across a widespread area, trees can literally explode. The moisture inside the wood freezes so fast that it expands with explosive force, creating a loud cracking sound heard up to a mile away. This is a real weather phenomenon. If you live in areas forecast to see these extreme temperatures and you hear what sounds like gunshots or explosions outside, it is likely exploding trees. Stay indoors. These temperatures are life-threatening. Forecasted temperatures for Friday morning show widespread readings between 20 and 30 degrees below zero, stretching all the way down into the southern plains. The Arctic blast reaches Texas by Saturday and Sunday. Sunday will be the coldest day of the week for Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth sees a low near 10 degrees. Oklahoma City hits 0. This is dangerous cold. Protect your pipes. Bring pets indoors. Check on elderly neighbors. Make sure your heating system is working properly. Have backup heating sources ready in case you lose power, but never use outdoor equipment like generators or grills indoors due to carbon monoxide danger. Monday and Tuesday remain below freezing across the southern plains and southeast. Any ice accumulation from Friday through Sunday will stay frozen. Roads will remain dangerous. Power restoration efforts will be slowed by continued freezing temperatures. By Tuesday, most areas finally climb above freezing. Ice melts, roads clear, power restoration accelerates. But we are talking about potentially 4 to 5 days of sustained winter weather impacts. School closures lasting through Tuesday, offices closed, airports shut down, supply chains disrupted. This is why preparation is so critical. If you live anywhere from Texas to Virginia, you need to prepare now, not tomorrow, not Friday morning, right now. Here are the 3 most important things you must do in the next 48 hours. First, stock up on essentials, food that does not require cooking. Bottled water, at least 1 gallon per person per day for 5 days. Medications, batteries, flashlights, phone chargers, especially portable battery packs. If power goes out for 4 days, your phone is your lifeline. Keep it charged. Second, protect your home. Let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. Open cabinet doors under sinks to let warm air circulate. Disconnect garden hoses. Insulate exposed pipes. Close garage doors. Seal drafts around windows and doors. Make sure your heating system is working. Have firewood if you have a fireplace. Third, prepare for power outages. Charge all devices fully. Fill bathtub with water for flushing toilets if water service is interrupted. Move essential items like medications to the warmest part of your home. Never use generators, camp stoves, or grills indoors. Carbon monoxide kills. If you have a generator, make sure it is outside, far from windows and doors. These 3 steps could save your life. I am not exaggerating. The 2021 winter storm killed over 200 people. Many died from carbon monoxide poisoning using generators or grills indoors. Others froze to death when power went out and they had no backup heat source. Some died in car accidents on icy roads. Do not become a statistic. Prepare now. Stay home during the storm and follow updates closely because this forecast is still changing. Comment your location below. Tell me your city and state. I will reply with your specific forecast. Are you in the snow zone, the ice zone, the extreme cold zone? Let me know where you are and I will tell you exactly what to expect. This storm is going to shatter records. Oklahoma City could break its all-time snowfall record for a single storm. Dallas-Fort Worth could see the worst ice storm since the 1990s. Nashville could see snow totals not recorded in decades. Little Rock is looking at historic accumulation, and it all starts in less than 72 hours. Friday morning, 8 a.m., western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle see the first freezing rain. By Friday afternoon, the storm explodes across 5 states. By Friday night, millions of people are without power. By Saturday morning, interstates are closed from Texas to Tennessee. By Sunday, record cold grips the entire region. This is not just another winter storm. This is a historic, potentially catastrophic, multi-day winter disaster affecting 30 million people across 10 states. The largest winter storm in over a decade for the southern United States. Make sure you are subscribed. Click the notification bell. Follow our social media for rapid-fire updates as the storm develops. We are posting constant updates on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Search Max Velocity WX on any platform. Drop that comment right now with your location. Where are you watching from? What city and state? I need to know so I can give you the most accurate forecast possible. This storm is too big, too dangerous, and too uncertain to rely on just one general forecast. Your specific location matters. Your forecast could be completely different from someone 50 miles away. The next 48 hours are critical for preparation. The next 72 hours will bring the storm, and the next week will test infrastructure, emergency response, and community resilience across the southern United States like we have not seen since 2021. Get ready, prepare now, stay safe, and keep watching for updates. Because in the next video, I will have the latest model runs, updated snow and ice forecasts, and specific timing for every major city in the impact zone. This storm will be unlike anything most people in the South have experienced in years. Snow where it rarely snows, ice where infrastructure cannot handle it, cold that breaks pipes and threatens lives, all happening at once, all lasting for days, all starting in less than 72 hours. Comment your location, subscribe for updates, prepare your home, stock up on essentials, and most importantly, take this storm seriously, because this is not hype. This is not clickbait. This is a real, dangerous, historic winter storm that will impact millions of lives across 10 states. Where are you watching from? Tell me in the comments right now. Let me break down the specific impacts state by state so you know exactly what your area is facing. Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, expect freezing rain starting Friday evening around 6 or 7 p.m. By Saturday morning, ice accumulation could reach ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Power outages are almost certain. Do not plan to drive anywhere from Friday evening through Tuesday. Stock up today. Texas Panhandle gets hit first. Freezing rain begins Friday morning, 8 or 9 a.m. Amarillo, Lubbock, your preparation window is closing fast. Get supplies today, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City is in the bullseye. 12 inches of snow possible. Ice accumulation could reach ½ an inch. Snow on top of ice equals widespread long-duration outages. Prepare for being without power for multiple days, Arkansas. Little Rock faces a nightmare scenario. Freezing rain transitioning to snow, ice first, then heavy snow on top. This is the worst combination. Prepare for extended power outages lasting through Tuesday or Wednesday. Louisiana. Shreveport and Monroe are in the danger zone for heavy freezing rain. ½ an inch of ice or more possible. Rural areas could be without power for a week. Tennessee. Nashville forecast has shifted dramatically. Models originally showed 12 inches of snow. Now some models show mostly ice. Either way, the city shuts down. Memphis is similar. Travel will be impossible. Power outages likely. Alabama. Northern Alabama, including Huntsville, is in an uncertain zone. Models split on whether you see significant ice or mostly rain. Prepare as if ice is coming, Georgia. Atlanta was originally forecast to see major ice. Now models shifted north. You might see 3/4 of an inch of ice. You might see mostly rain. Keep checking updates every few hours. Northern Georgia mountains will definitely see winter weather. The Carolinas face uncertainty. Some models show significant ice across the Piedmont. Charlotte, Greenville, Columbia could all see icing. Western North Carolina mountains will see heavy snow. Asheville could see 6 to 12 inches. Now let me talk about the people most vulnerable during storms like this. Elderly neighbors, people with medical conditions requiring electricity for medical equipment. If you have elderly neighbors, check on them today. Make sure they have food, water, medications, and heat sources. If you know anyone who relies on medical equipment requiring electricity, help them contact their power company now. Many utilities have medical priority lists for power restoration. You must register before the storm hits. For homeless populations, if you know where homeless individuals shelter, consider donating blankets, hand warmers, non-perishable food to local shelters. Many shelters will be at maximum capacity during this storm. Let me address why southern cities struggle with winter weather when northern cities handle it easily. Infrastructure and frequency. Northern cities have fleets of snowplows, salt stockpiled, road crews trained and experienced, power lines rated for ice load, buildings insulated, pipes buried deep underground. Southern cities have almost none of this. Dallas-Fort Worth might have 20 snowplows for 7 million people. Nashville might have 15. Power infrastructure is not built for heavy ice. Lines are above ground. Tree canopy overhangs power lines everywhere. Water pipes run shallow. When temperatures hit zero, shallow pipes freeze and burst quickly. This is not incompetence. This is economics. Dallas sees major ice once per decade. The problem is when that event happens, the lack of infrastructure turns a winter storm into a disaster. Social media will be filled with terrible advice during this storm. Let me tell you what not to do. Do not use your gas stove or oven to heat your home. Carbon monoxide kills. Do not run a generator inside your house, garage, or covered porch. Generators must be at least 20 feet from your house with exhaust pointed away from windows and doors. Do not use charcoal grills indoors. Carbon monoxide kills silently. Keep combustion sources outside. Do not try to drive on ice. Four-wheel drive helps you go. It does not help you stop. Just stay home. Do not let your pipes freeze to save on utility bills. Running heat and letting faucets drip costs $20. Repairing burst pipes costs thousands and requires waiting weeks for a plumber. Do not wait until Friday to prepare. Stores are already seeing runs on supplies. By Thursday afternoon, shelves will be empty. Get supplies today. Let me tell you exactly what to buy today. Bottled water. 1 gallon per person per day for 5 days minimum. A family of 4 needs 20 gallons. Bread, peanut butter, jelly, crackers, canned soup, canned vegetables, granola bars, protein bars, cereal. Anything not requiring cooking or refrigeration. Batteries, flashlights, candles, matches, phone chargers, especially portable battery packs. Your phone is your connection to emergency information during power outages. Medications. If you have prescriptions due for refill in the next week, fill them today. Pharmacies might be closed for days. Pet food. Make sure you have enough for a week. Keep pets indoors during the storm. Baby supplies. If you have infants, diapers, formula, baby food, stock up now. Comment your location below, city and state. I will personally reply with your specific forecast and preparation recommendations. Every location faces different impacts. Where you live determines what you need to do to prepare. Are you in the ice zone, the snow zone, the extreme cold zone? Comment now and I will tell you exactly what to expect. This storm will be talked about for years. This is your winter storm of 2025, and it starts in less than 72 hours. Get ready. Stay safe. Keep watching for updates. By tonight, we will have new model data, new snow forecasts, new ice forecasts, new timing information, and I will have another video breaking down every single change. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, comment your location, prepare your home today, not tomorrow, today. This is your